Hello guys, welcome back, and today we will be going to see how to create this beautiful iPhone using only HTML and CSS. So let's begin. Here I have my index file ready and I have imported the jQuery code which you can easily get from the code.jquery.com website. I have used the 3.2.1 version and you can use any of these. So let's get started. So first we will start by creating a div and give it a class name of center, which will bring the whole object to the center of the page. And next we will create another div class with the name of mobile. We will create another div class and name it screen. So now let's give styles to these elements. So first we will give style to body. We will give the margin and padding 0, and then we will add background. Here you can see there is a gradient background, so we will add the background. For radial background we will use radial gradient, and then the colors. So here we added the background, and now we need to make sure that the gradient is visible on all types of web browsers. So we will add WebKit. We will add Moz for Mozilla. And we will add O for Opera. Next we need the background to cover the whole page, so we will add background size of cover. So let's see how it looks. So perfect, we have the background with a nice gradient. Now let's move on to add styles to our next class, which is center. When you need to make any of the object to be centered, just use these 4 lines and it will be centered. Now let's add style to mobile. We will give it a width of 276 pixels and height of 555 pixels. We will give it a background color of white and a border radius of 30. Giving a border radius will get rid of the pointy corners. We will add border of 2 pixels, which is solid and has color of 0, which is transparent. We will add box shadow. So now let's see how it looks. So here we have a body, we have a nice shadow, and also you can see the border of 2 pixels. So now let's move on to add styles to the screen. We are not sure of the margin, we will adjust it later. Okay, so here we have the screen. We need to add a little bit of top and bottom margin. Let's make it 58. Perfect. Now let's add some more class. So we will add div class home, and then div class inner, which will contain the inner elements like proximity sensor and front camera and all. Also we need the volume buttons, so we will add unordered list and give it a name of volume. We will add two lists because for volume up and volume down. Then we also have the silent button. So there is only one silent button, so we will add only one li class, li tag. And also sleep. Cool. So here we are completed with the mobile. We have added all the elements: volume, silent, sleep, also the inner, which includes the proximity sensor, front camera and all. Also the home button, we have added the home button as well. So let's move on and add some style. So first we will add styles to the home button. Transform translate x will only move the object in the x-axis, and if we add y, it will move in the y-axis. So here we have added translate x, which means the object will be in the -50% of the x-axis. When we add border radius of 50%, it automatically becomes a circle. Now we will add some shadow. Cool, so here we have our home button, but we need to make the cursor pointer because when we hover over the home button, we don't need this default cursor, so we will add cursor pointer. Perfect. So when I hover over the button, it turns the cursor into a pointer. Now let's add styles to the inner. Cool, so here we have a proximity sensor. We added a width and a height and added the background color as well as the radius to give it a circular edge, and then we just centered it on the x-axis. So now we need to add the front camera and the proximity sensor. So what we will do is make use of pseudo elements, which is after and before. Always make sure that you add the attribute content for every pseudo element. Cool, so here we have our front camera. Perfect. So now let's add the sensor. So we will make use of the pseudo element here, but since we have used the before, we will add after. We just need to make some changes to the position, like top will change to -16 and left let's make it -50 so it will be centered. Let's keep the background color as it is. Now for centering the object perfectly, we will use transform translate X. Perfect, so here it is, but it's big, so we will reduce the width and height. Perfect, it looks perfect now. Cool, so now let's add styles to the volume. We don't know the top position exactly, so we will adjust it later. And we don't know the left as well, so we will just add 2 pixels. It's a random number, but we will adjust it later. Okay, so here we have. Let's bring it down to -3. And top we will adjust it later. Let's add styles to our volume buttons first. So we will add list style none, so that no style like disc, square or circle is displayed. And then we will add width. And height. Cool, so here we have the volume buttons, the power volume up and the volume down button, but we need to get rid of these pointy corners. So we cannot add the border radius because it will add the radius to all the 4 sides. We just need to add the border to the top left and the bottom left edge. So we will add border top left radius and bring it to 4 pixels, and we will add the same to the bottom left. Cool, so here we have the volume buttons. Perfect, now it looks perfect after adding the top 90 pixels instead of 70 pixels. So now let's create the silent button. So again we don't know the top, so we will add a random number. let's take 80 for now. And left will be the same as volume button, because if you see, the silent button is at the same place on the y-axis where the volume button is there. So the left will be same as the volume button. Okay, so we need to add some styles more. Or you can just copy the whole volume part and just change the height, and rest everything is the same. Perfect. So it's overlapping because we have added the top too much. So let's bring it down to 50 and see how it looks. Perfect. So here we have the silent button and the volume button ready. Now let's add sleep button. Again we will add a random number, and the sleep button is located to the right side of the phone. So instead of adding left, we will add right. Again we will copy the whole thing and paste it for the sleep button. The only thing we need to change the height and nothing else. And here we need to change the radius to border top right, because this button is located to the right side of the phone. So let's see how it looks. Cool. So it looks perfect. And here we have the iPhone ready. We just need to add the wallpaper. So now we will add another name to the div class screen, which will have the wallpaper. So we will add the location of the wallpaper. So image.jpg. Okay, we need to add background size, cover, perfect. So what I did was I added a space here. So make sure you don't add any spaces, unnecessary spaces. So now we have the iPhone with the wallpaper. Let's add some glare effect. So again we will make use of the pseudo element. before. Like I said previously, you need to add the content attribute for every pseudo element. So here we will add skew x. Skew, what it will do is make the image slightly tilted, and it will also add translate x, which will align it to the center. Cool. So here you can see the glare effect. So if I turn off the background, you can see the tilted glare effect. If I change the degree, see, it will be more tilted. Perfect. So now let's add some JavaScript to the image. So when I press the home button, the wallpaper pops up, and when I press the home button again, the phone will power off. So for this we need to add the script type JavaScript, and then we will add the document ready. So in the body we will tell the JavaScript what to do. So here we need the JavaScript to work only for the home button. So the home button is the division class home. So we'll add the class name home here, and we will add click function. So when home is clicked, the screen will be toggling between default screen and active screen. The active screen has the wallpaper and the default screen has the background. So it will be toggling. So when I press home, and if the wallpaper is at active, it will bring back to the default screen. And if if I press the home when the screen is default, it will turn on the screen and display the wallpaper. So we will just add the JavaScript. We will add toggle class. We need to toggle the class with active. So active and the screen both will be toggling when the home is pressed. So let's have a look. Okay, so we have the wallpaper here. So when I press the home button, the screen should go back to its default format, which is the background. So let's see. Perfect. So now when I press the home button again, it should bring the screen back on and display the wallpaper. So let's try. Perfect. So here we have, guys, the iPhone, which is made using purely HTML and CSS coding and a little bit of JavaScript. So if you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will be back with another video. Goodbye.